to Pump Perspective, and thank you for joining us, man. Today we have a great episode, but as y'all know, this is a podcast unlike no other. We don't just talk about success, we live it right here in the gym. We bring in powerhouse guests to help break down barriers, motivate, and inspire you in a way that you're not really used to. Today, the guest we have today is gonna be somebody that you guys are probably familiar with in the DMV area. But before we get started into the accolades and exactly who the guest is, let's see the other co-hosts that are with me today. Take a walk with me. Look at this man, killing it. There he goes.
What's going on, boy?
We got D with us. D, holla at the people, man.
What's going on, everyone? My name is D, NPC athlete, and also co-host of Pump Perspective.
And then, of course, over here, man, we gotta take a look at the man himself, shout out to God, putting them reps in.
Real.
Shout out to God, holla at the people.
Yo, what's going on? It's your boy, shout out to God. You already know what we about to get into. We got a fire episode today. Make sure y'all stay tuned.
And like I said, guys, we are coming from Evolve Gym. And let's talk about the guest that we have today. So the guest that we have today doesn't really need an introduction. He goes by the name Mr. Walking Resume, newly crowned winner of Summer Shred. This guy is not just a bodybuilder, is not just a fitness trainer. He's a motivator in a way, and he's rising up the ranks quicker than you and I could even blink our eyes. The guy I'm talking about today is none other than, you know, I just said his name, come on now. Mr. Walking Resume, welcome to Pump Perspective.
What's up, y'all?
What's up, baby? Good to
Let's
see
get
you,
it.
baby. My man. Good to see you. Good to see you.
Happy to have y'all, man. Happy to have y'all.
Appreciate you. Talk to the people though real quick, man. Give them a quick glimpse about just who you are, bro.
Say no more. I go by Mr. Walking Resume. My name is Elijah White. I've been doing this for about 6 years. You know, we've helped transform over 100 people online and in person here at Evolve Body Wellness. You know, so check us out. We're here in Hanover, Maryland. We're in Beltsville, Maryland. We're in Landover, Maryland. We're online. We're worldwide. So anything you need, I got you.
Hey, y'all heard the man. So with that being said, y'all ready for this workout? This man about to put us through something crazy. So hopefully by the end of this, I ain't dead on the ground. But we gonna see. I can't make any promises. Y'all ready? Let's go! What you got us like doing? How we getting this whole thing started?
All right, the simplest of exercises. We got pull-ups.
Okay.
We're not doing the bullshit that people usually do.
Oh man.
Full range of motion.
Oh man.
All the way up. Extend. Take a pause at the bottom. All the way back up. We're gonna go to failure.
This man wanna kill us.
Once you can't get all the way back up, that's the set.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's dive into it though, E, man. Summer Shred winner, bodybuilding just name that's just known in the area. You're rising up the ranks just quicker than someone could blink their eyes.
Yes, sir.
But we gotta ask, of course, bro, how did you get your start though, bro? That's what the people wanna know. You kind of just seem like somebody just popped out of nowhere into just the air of success, but we know that's not the case, right?
Yes, sir. Honestly, bro, like you said, I honestly don't even regard myself as a bodybuilder yet.
Wow.
I feel like shit happens so fast and it hasn't set in. But as far as my start was fitness.
Okay.
At the end of the day, I wanted to help people get in shape, and I realized they'll listen to me more the better I look. So bodybuilding from the jump was nothing but a marketing thing. It was nothing but trying to get some credibility to my name.
Got you. And like, what was that whole process as far as you becoming a trainer, you know, and to get into the bodybuilding space?
So honestly, becoming a trainer was a funny story.
Yeah.
I actually, after high school, I found myself getting out of shape, you know what I'm saying, drinking a lot of beer, eating whatever, and I wanted to get back in shape. So I got a job as a janitor at Planet Fitness. One day, the current trainer at that Planet Fitness, she gets fired in the middle of the day, right? And storms out, she gets fired. So there's a bunch of clients there with nobody to train them, so I just hopped in, threw some stuff together like with what I knew from football, and they liked it. You know, they liked how the day went. Corporate office came by the next day, and they put me in that position. So,
Jeez.
Divine intervention.
Literally randomly.
Really? So when you got put into that, did you think like from that point, like, hey, this is something that I could turn into something that's gonna be special? Or was it still just an afterthought, like, hey, I'm just gonna do this for now, but wherever it goes, it's whatever?
Now, immediately, it felt like, it was the first time in my life I felt like I was good at something. I'm not gonna lie. Because previous, like we talked about, I played football before that, but I was terrible at football.
There's no way.
Yeah, I was terrible at football.
Really?
Any other sports I wasn't good at, but I knew I could gym. You know what I'm saying? So when it came to the personal training and just the people skills, I felt like I had it, you know?
There we go. Oh, D, go ahead, get your set, man. But I gotta ask you, right? Of course, right? Because something that a lot of people also want to know, right? When you got into the space and you're like, okay, this is something I'm actually pretty good at. We all call on inspirations or have different inspirations that aspired us or we wanted to chase to get to. Did you have a certain somebody that you were like, hey, this is somebody in the space that I feel like I want to get to that level or aspire to get to that level? Or was it just a self type of motivated thing with really no inspiration pushing you to want to get better or get bigger in that space?
So I feel like I was so new to the space, I didn't even know who the big people in the space were. You know what I'm saying? So all my inspirations are guys from around the way, you know, guys from around the way that took me under their wing, showed me how to do things from a business side, showed me how to, you know, attract people, work with people, handle different kinds. So first off my head is Orlando, honestly. Yeah.
And then you met Orlando from the gym or just from around the way?
That was another divine intervention.
Oh, man.
Orlando.
God is working.
I'm telling you, Orlando trained my auntie back in the day.
Oh, wow, okay.
And I actually met Orlando, but I was just a kid at that point when he was training my auntie. So years later, you know, I'm a trainer at Planet Fitness. I think by the time I met Orlando, I had started boxing.
Okay.
So he kind of pulled me out of boxing, like, hey, like, you know, we could really make something during this training.
So talk about, because Orlando's somebody that I feel like we should talk about a lot more because he's somebody a behind the scenes guy.
Yeah.
But talk about how instrumental he has been for you, but also just a little bit of background about who he is.
Yeah. So, I mean, like you said, he's behind the scenes. He don't want nobody to know his business. I'm not gonna put him out there too much, but at the end of the day, I'm telling you, I tell him all the time though, he pulled me out of a bad path. You know, I was boxing, I was, you know, chasing that dream, but on the side of that, I was doing illegal things that I shouldn't have been doing. I was hanging out with the wrong crowd, you know, and I didn't really have a clear direction, especially on how to make money or make an impact.
That's it right there.
So he's great at sitting down and figuring out how can I, like, who needs to be impacted, how can I do it, and how can it make money? You know what I'm saying? He can come up with that from anything.
I gotta ask you this, right? Because we all, I feel like, have those people that come into our lives at times that try to guide us to the promised land, but we might think, what makes you Moses? What makes you Moses? So what was it in Orlando that you saw that you, one, felt you could trust, but also felt like he had the capabilities to do what he was saying he could do for you?
So that's funny. I mean, when he first DM'd me, I got a DM from him. He's like, you want to come be a personal trainer? I can help you make XXX amount of dollars a year. Man, I'm like, this is a scam, but I pull up for the interview and just seeing the way the clients interacted with him and the way everybody gravitated towards him, and he could really control the room, lead the room, that sold me.
It sold you.
Yeah.
And from that point on, right, because I think everybody wants to know, what was that first aha moment? Because that's what we would talk about. That first aha moment that you're like, you know what? This thing might work.
Honestly, I'll say the first sign of success, first sign that we had something that worked, was the first before and after.
Okay.
I remember it's my guy Ty. He came in. He was like your typical IT guy. He looked like he sit down all day. And I'll send you this picture so y'all can put it up on the video. But he looks crazy now. Veins popping out the chest, abs, V-taper. You know, he's still with me to this day. So he's been with me for years now. So once I had that first, like, seeing somebody transform in front of me, it was like, okay, this is what I want to do.
Okay.
Let me ask you this. The name Evo,
And is that me?
where does it come from? What does it symbolize?
Evo?
Yeah.
Y'all gonna laugh when y'all hear this.
Yeah.
You hear what's playing right now, right?
Yeah.
Future.
Yeah.
Future has an album called what?
Evo.
Niggas just like Future, man.
Hey, say it again for the people in the back. What was that? What was that, E?
Hey, look, it's a Future album.
Okay.
It's love backwards, so you know it has that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we like Future.
And you know the beauty of that is simplicity, because sometimes in life, I feel like we try to complicate things or make it seem like it has to be something so distinguished and advanced.
Right.
But in reality,
Yeah.
Short,
like-
sweet to the point.
We just play a lot of
Yeah.
Future.
it's sweet to the point, man. And then question for you, because right before we switch like exercise, right? This is something that everybody wants to know though, right? How long were you going off for just Elijah, and when did Elijah transform, go into Steve Urkel, like, you know, cause it come out and become Mr. Walking Resume?
I know I'm a little young to understand whatever it was you
Oh
said.
man,
You talking about Family Matters?
my man don't know about
Family
Family Matters.
Matters.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
But when did you go into the booth as Clark Kent and come out as Superman? When did you go in as Elijah and come out as Mr. Walking Resume?
Okay, well, I definitely say I ain't Superman yet. We got a ways to go. But so that's a funny story as well too. Everything just seems to be so simple. I was training two of my clients. They go by Jan and Ikazi. Both of them, they've had great transformations. They look crazy. So as I'm sitting there training them, I'm telling them about a situation that had happened. Somebody, when I was out, asked about personal training, and then they kind of asked like, what's your resume? Like, what's your accolades? Why should I train with you? And I kind of got mad. I'm like, resume? Look at me, I'm a fucking walking resume.
Yeah.
And then like, I'm like, look at these people, they're walking around. This is my resumes walking around. So that's where it came from. Just that conversation, just like that.
You hear that? He's a resume walking around, man. Well, let's switch to the next exercise, E. I know you got some stuff that you just kind of focus on getting us on, so let's get that popping.
Let's go,
man. Bang. So what we doing right now, E? Walk us through the next exercise, bro.
Another simple exercise. We got dips, focus on a deep stretch. Slight pause at the bottom. 1, 2, explode. 1, 2, explode.
My man putting us through it.
Yes, sir.
I'll get started, man. I'll get started, D.
Hey, but my question for you is, how important is it for a trainer to look apart, and why?
Trainers that look at the part. Okay. Would you hire a broke financial advisor?
I don't know.
Okay, there you go. Would you go to church with a cheating pastor?
I don't know.
There you go. I mean, it's at the end of the day, they can tell you what to do because fitness is just knowledge, it's science. But you want somebody that walks the walk, you know, looks the part, because I couldn't listen to him.
Yeah.
So I gotta ask you, right, E? Because Evolve is rising up the ranks. Like everybody I talk to, Evolve. You gotta go to Evolve. They're boot camps, they're trainers, top of the notch. Talk to the people a little bit about what sets Evolve apart from other places they may go. Because there's gonna be people watching like, wait, maybe I should go there, but why should they come here? What are they getting when they come to Evolve?
That they don't get from any other gym.
Yes.
Okay. Well, first I'll say common mistake. Everybody says Evolve with the V, but it's just the L.
Evolve.
Yeah, just the L.
There we go.
But what do we offer that's different? So I'll say first thing from the competitor that has the closest business model to us. I think we're maybe $100 or so cheaper per month. I know there are other gyms around that they have time limits on their sessions. Like they may train you for 30 minutes and tell you to get out. Versus here, you know, you're here for however long we can keep you. You finish your workout, you get extra cardio. You can just kick it with your coach. You know, we go over your meal plan with you. We're weighing you every day. You feel me? So, but I think what sets us apart the most is the community.
Got it.
Somebody can come in here first day and see so many different people that are in every step of the journey.
Right.
You could see somebody else on their first day. You could see somebody on their third year. You know, there's so many people besides your coach that you could get uplifted by.
Got it.
So, what is the vision as far as expansion? Like, do y'all want to limit it to just the DMV, or do you want to expand outside the DMV also?
America is the most obese country in the world. Everybody needs help, all 50 states, you feel me? So that's the idea. The idea is to reach as many people as we possibly can. As long as it makes sense, you know, we'll go there. Yeah. For sure. For sure.
Nah, that's awesome, man. I love this dip thing. And you said, right, with expansion, I think expansion is something that's truly important, right? For any type of company that you're talking about, right? But also expanding on our personal career. So making the transition, it's back to you for a little bit. Summer Shred winner. First of all, I want you to just talk to people about that experience a little bit. And how did it feel, the elation that ran through you when you won that? And what are the next steps of possibly where you're thinking of going next?
So to give you some backstory on that, I did summer shredding last year as well. As I said, bodybuilding started only as a purpose for marketing. Last year, when is it? Last year, July, I officially got Walking Resume LLC, and I dropped my online coaching program. And bodybuilding was supposed to, you know, just build up the marketing for that at that time.
God.
In bodybuilding, you have to win your class and then you move on to compete in the overall.
Okay.
I didn't even win my class last year, you know, so I came in third in class, didn't make it to the overall. You know, I was excited because it was my first time doing it.
Right.
But in overall, I did, you know, shitty.
Right.
So coming back this year and winning everything, it made a big difference. Just in the amount of people that I was able to meet within those 2 days of being down there in Houston, I feel like it skyrocketed progress. And something I really realized is like, in life, nobody cares about number 2. Because I'm sitting there thinking like, this guy right here next to me, the number 2 guy, he looks great. He put in work. And then over the next couple of days, everybody's coming to me with all these opportunities. There's brands reaching out to me, people talking to me. I'm like, damn, he ain't getting nothing. So it's literally like what I learned from that is win or lose. You know? There is no second place, you know, like nobody cares about it. So
That's the truth. And I think what he says, golden. Question for you, D. Who lost the Super Bowl last year? Who lost the Super Bowl last year?
Nobody. 49ers.
My man said it, right? But you see how it took him now?
But at the same time, the win is the first thing that comes to mind.
And that's what I'm saying. But you see how long it took D to get it, because I still couldn't figure it out as I was asking you it. So I think what Eli just said is nobody cares about number 2. That's such an important thing. But talk to us. How did it feel, right, when you came back from that? Because that's like the truth. That's the story we all want to be able to tell. We couldn't conquer something the first time. We came back and we fully conquered it. You had an interesting post that I loved. You're sitting there with the trophy, like Kobe, after he won that championship, and you had the perfect song to go with it. I've been balling so damn hard, I swear I feel like I'm Kobe. So in that moment, tell us, how did that Kobe feeling feel, bro, when you won that? How did that feel?
It felt good. It felt like, because you know, you hear people talk about manifestation and shit like that. And it was good because it kind of really solidified it for me. Any input you put in is always going to create an output. Whether it's the output you expect or not, it's going to come up something. So that whole year, from October 24th of last year, you know, until now, it's like I was in the gym every day, 6 days a week. You know, I was tracking my macros, whether it was a bulking phase, a maintenance phase, a cutting phase, everything was planned out. Every lift, every rep was recorded, making sure I was getting stronger week by week. So when it all like paid off, it was just like, damn, like this was an epic experience. Cause everybody just saw the stage. I'm like, y'all didn't see like this whole year. Like
the work that went in.
But let me ask you this. How would you say bodybuilding is synonymous with life?
Shit, it's way more ways than one. I'll say the first thing is that a lot of times one person may get the shine, but it's a whole team behind it. Like, I wish I could have brought everybody on that stage with me that helped me get to that stage. I can't even sit and list all of the people. So you asked like, how did I feel winning? It didn't even feel like I won. It just felt like I didn't let all those people down.
I love
you know,
that.
because there's so many people that poured into me, so many people that looked out for me, helped me when I was mentally low. And you understand prep. In prep, you got to be a little selfish. You know, so there's a lot of people that impacted as well. My clients for bearing with me when I'm a little irritated. You feel me? So, yeah.
Now that's amazing, and I think that tells a lot about who you are, because there's a lot of people you could ask that same question to, and they'll be like, "Man, I felt like I conquered the world. I knew I was gonna do it. I was this. I." But the first thing that came to your mind was my team. It took you a while to even start talking about yourself, and I think that says a lot about just who you are and the type of trainer, and no matter what aspect of life, just what you're bringing to the table. So we gotta talk though, man. Of course, you've conquered that. What's next in line, man? Because we know you're gonna keep going. What's next in line for competitions you're maybe going after, and what's the goal?
So I say, even like I said, bodybuilding was just marketed from the start. I still feel like, yeah, I think I'm kind of good at it, but I still feel like it's just marketing. So my number one goal is I want to have another 100 transformations this year. I've had 100 so far in my career, but I want 100 people to go from, you know, fat to fit this year. I want 100 of them. As far as competing, I'm 7 or 6 days out from a show in Long Island. That'll qualify me to compete nationally in December. If I do well in December, then I get my pro card. You know, if I do that, then I decide where to go from there. Do I take a break for a little while, try to get bigger, because I'm gonna be the smallest guy as a pro. So, yeah.
And we gotta ask, right? Because like you said, another 100 transformation. That's astronomical, bro, right? That's big time, and we love that. But a lot of people, right, when it comes to the working out space, they feel like they're in here working out with their trainers, not here per se, but at other gyms working out with their trainers and still not seeing their ultimate result. What do you think is the biggest thing holding most people back from achieving their results? Because you're seeing them coming day in and day out. What do you think that thing is? Like, if you had to just break down, even if it's not one particular thing, but something that you're like, the reason why most people don't see their body transformation goals is because of what would you say?
The answer is simple. I feel like we all know it's food. At the end of the day, I take consultations every day, and some of these people that hop on a consultation with me, they already have a trainer. First question I ask is, the trainer gave you a workout plan, right? They're like, oh yeah, we work out. They gave me a plan. I said, did they give you a diet? A lot of times they'll say no. If your trainer didn't give you a diet, you just have a workout partner. You know what I'm saying? Because nothing's going to happen outside of that. And if your trainer gives you a diet and you don't follow it, you just wasting money. So yeah, number one thing is food, bro.
That's amazing. I'm gonna ask you this real quick while I'm on this. Talk to us about your specific plan though. What do you offer with your plan? I know all the viewers, everybody watching is gonna wanna know, what does he offer and how can I find it? So just talk to people about that real quick. People that wanna tap in with you.
Okay, I mean, I'll make it simple, step by step. I'll talk about online first. If I bring somebody in online, right? The first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna send them over a questionnaire. Get their height, their weight, get some before pictures so I can calculate their macros. How much calories are you eating, protein, carbs, fats. And then from there, I'm gonna ask them all their favorite foods, and I'm gonna plug that in and create them a meal plan that they don't have to cheat on. So like, what's your favorite food?
Oh, let's say lasagna.
Lasagna. So I would find a way to work that into your macros.
Yeah.
You may have to sacrifice some calories elsewhere, but you're gonna be able to eat lasagna. You know what I'm saying? So you don't necessarily cheat on your meal plan.
That is very unique. I don't think I've heard of that. How'd you come up with that concept? I've never heard of that. Somebody doing that. Usually they take away what your favorite food is.
That's what I learned in prep. Right? This prep, working with another coach, he's just got me eating the same thing every day. But last year, I was able to get below 5% body fat while still having ice cream every night. You know what I'm saying? And it was just like learning how to, I call it budgeting calories. Calories are currency, and how you budget them shows how you can live your life.
Man, I love that. I love that, bro. You killing it right now, D. You want to ask me another question before we?
Before with the year coming to an end, everybody thinking about New Year's resolution.
Yeah.
What are some things that you could do for folks who want to get into a healthy lifestyle but want to stay motivated? What are some things that can help them stay motivated?
First thing, don't wait till fucking New Year's.
That's right.
Hey, say it again, E. Say it again, bro. For all those people that have to wait for New Year's, tell them again, bro. Please.
Don't wait for fucking New Year's, dude.
That's right.
I'm not gonna lie. That last week of the year, I'm not even going to be accepted in new clients.
Right.
Statistically, the rate of somebody staying as a New Year's resolution is not even worth a trainer's time. Wow. So either get your mind right now within these next couple weeks, or I'll catch you January 7th.
Hey, I love
something like that. Because there's a lot of people who are already dedicated, and I can't take time away from them for people who are on fad time. But if you decide to go the New Year's resolution route, I tell people lock in for 90 days. Like even when I sell my packages, I'll give you a discount if you pay for your first 90 days up front. Not just as a way to get money from me, but because 90 days is what you're gonna need regardless. Trying to look at your body change before that, you're not gonna see nothing. 90 days, build habits. Like the first 90 days, build habits, then you'll start to see. You know this. Now look at you, bro. You know this. You done put in your 90 days a couple times.
Hey, I love that, man. Hey, with that being said, man, E, get us to the next exercise, man. I know you're dying to get us killed a little more in here, man. Let's get it. So, E, what we got going on here? I see you brought T-bar machine into the middle of the gym. What we doing here?
This is my #1 favorite exercise.
Okay.
And if you ask any of the judges at summer shredding, the biggest difference from last year to this year was thickness in the back. I attribute it all to this machine.
Really?
You may see a lot of people get on here and just kind of wrap it out, but no, we want to take our time with this. We're gonna go wide grip. If you're tall enough, feet can be on the ground.
Okay.
Overhand, 1, 2 on the stretch, violent pull. 1, 2 on the stretch, violent pull. All right.
Okay. And as D's jumping on that, I'm gonna ask you, right? Because this is an interesting question. For this machine, a lot of people love the T-bar, but the different variations. Why is this one your favorite as opposed to the one that say might be just more straight parallel to the ground?
Oh, you're just standing?
Yeah, why would you say you prefer this one over that?
So, right now he's chest supported, right?
Yeah.
He can just focus on working everything up here without fatiguing his lower back down here.
Okay.
A lot of people, they'll do rows and they complain about lower back pain. That's not necessarily pain, that's just a muscle getting sore.
Okay.
That muscle, we don't need to work it right now. We can focus on all this without worrying about this getting tired.
I love that.
Yes, sir.
I love that. And then of course, right, bro?
Rip that shit out.
with working out, E, we know you're training males, you're training females. Would you say there's a different approach to how you might go about your female candidates compared to your male candidates? And if not a different approach, is there a certain type of goal that you probably try to set for the two sexes when it comes to male or female, or would you say same approach?
It depends person to person.
Okay.
But something that I do find is, well, not even I find, science finds, larger muscles require more recovery time. So actually in a session, if I was to train a male and a female in the same session, I could put more volume on the woman.
Really?
And she can recover faster to be able to do more in that session. The man may grow more, get his results faster because he has testosterone, but women can actually handle more, statistically.
Recover quickly as well.
That's interesting, man.
Let me ask you this: do you preach recovery? How important recovery is within it, as far as you working out and whatnot? How important is recovery? How often you should do it?
So I preach recovery as sleep at night. Just getting up off that phone at night, turning the TV off, and getting some quality sleep. Of course, water and all that comes into play. You can go do crowds and stuff like that, but baseline is sleep. I don't necessarily really have time to go get massages or physical therapy like I should, but sleeping 8 hours a night physique versus a 5 hour a night physique makes a big difference.
Yeah, you should have
Big
a lot.
difference.
And this is the question, right? I know a lot of people, when they knew I was coming to interview you, they're like, you gotta ask this, because this is a debate in the gym. But what is harder, E? Or is one harder than the other? Is it harder to take on that client that wants to lose weight, or that client that wants to gain weight? Which one's just a tougher beast? This is an argument that we hear every day.
I'll say the gain weight client, only because
Really?
there's less people with that problem. We live in America, most people's problem is obesity, right?
Go ahead.
So a lot of times those people who have the issue of gaining weight, they don't really get a lot of, I guess, representation, or they don't see it as much. And so they just don't think it can be done. You gotta really force them to eat, sleep, and they don't understand that.
Let me ask you this. Say if I'm trying, build muscle and, get my arms bigger. Is it something that I have to do every day? Do I do an arm day every day? Or is it something I gotta take a rest on? Or
So muscles grow in rest. Specifically, say you wanted to do an arm day, I would say do arms maybe twice a week, at most. Space it out in between so they have time to recover. If you really wanted to tweak anything, maybe you could have higher carbs than usual on those days that you do arms, and preferably eating those carbs right after the workout. Muscles are full of carbs, glycogen. I know you probably heard the term. Glycogen is what gives you that pump, but it's also what helps the muscle grow. A lot of people think, I'm trying to grow, so protein.
Right.
But really, muscle growth comes from carbs.
And you nailed something key, and I know you're probably thinking this. There's so many supplements out there now, E, where we hear about all types of stuff, and we know there's a lot of garbage out there. We just know that's the truth. What would you say a client coming in, even if it's a person trying to gain weight, lose weight, what are some essentials that you're like, hey, if you're just working out in general, this has to be in your backpack. Even if you're starting off, you need these supplements.
Okay, I'll say a simple 3, creatine. Creatine is great for anybody. Yes, sir. Whether you're losing weight or gaining weight, creatine is great. You may see a little bit of water retention when you first hop on it, but that's normal. I'll say L-glutamine is another great one for digestion and bloating. And what's the third one I would say? I would say for a lot of people, fiber, like psyllium husk pills. A lot of people that get into a calorie deficit compared to what they used to eat and have trouble pooping. So I'm constantly, I'm sending my clients the link for those fiber pills so they can be regular.
And you touched on it a little earlier in regards to making sure you have carbohydrates in your diet. Can you touch on how important it is to have carbohydrates before you start your workouts?
Yes.
Because a lot of times people on this weight loss journey, and they'll try to avoid carbohydrates totally, you know what I'm saying? And how important is it for you to have those carbohydrates in your weight loss journey as well too?
Even if you're not on a weight loss journey, your brain functions on carbs. Your brain don't function on chicken. You know what I'm saying? It functions on carbs. It functions on rice and quinoa and lentils, and all that shit. So carbs is important to have before your workout. When I try to simplify it for somebody, I'll say carbs is the fuel for your body. Protein is the building blocks of recovery. Fats is the means of digestion. You know, fats is what helps digest the food itself.
I like that. I like that. And something like that I know is just being in the gym right myself. A lot of times, many women, when you tell them, hey, get in the gym, try to work out, the first thing a lot of women say is, I don't want to put on all that muscle. I don't want to get bulky. I know you've heard it yourself, right? I know you've heard it yourself. What would you say to the women out there that maybe are a little like hesitant when it comes to getting in the gym because they're scared of putting too much muscle on once they step in there? What would you say to those people that were trying to grab and actually get in here to start training?
Hey, let's get it. Let's go. I'm gonna answer the question, but he killing this set. He killing this set. Let's go, bro. Let's go, bro.
Oh yeah, we got hype him up. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Stretch.
You got it. You got it.
Go. Stretch.
Come on.
Go.
Come on.
Stretch. Go.
Let's go. Come on, D.
Fight. One more.
Come
I
on.
got you. Let's go. And then let it
Yeah.
down.
There we
go.
Let it rack it.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, bro. Yes, sir.
Appreciate it. Shit.
Question people that think they're gonna put on muscle. It's funny, I posted a video about this the other day, and it was my first video to ever get 1 million views.
Wow.
So basically what I said in the video is that people all the time say, oh, I don't wanna start working out because I'm gonna get too bulky.
Yeah.
Saying that is extremely disrespectful to all the people who fight to put on size. That shit is a literal fight. You know what I'm saying? Your body wants homeostasis. It doesn't want to be bigger than it needs to be. So you have to literally fight it. And so for someone to think that they're going to accidentally do it, it's disrespectful.
It's disrespectful.
And it's just not scientific.
It's not scientific. So with that being said, right, when you're taking on like a certain client, or just in general, when Evolve is taking on a certain client, how do you guys pick and choose what client gets set up with a certain trainer? Is it just a random, like whoever comes in next, that's who you're gonna be with? Or do you guys have specific people? Like, hey, if somebody's coming in for weight loss, they're with Eli. If somebody's coming in to gain weight, they're with this person. How is that process? Talk to people about that.
Or is it based off of how clients take on motivation? You know how some folks could take on motivation by you yelling, and then some people, they need that soft encouragement.
So it actually depends. Sometimes it could just be by rotation of whenever they come in, it'll go to each trainer. Sometimes the trainer could be full. I know I didn't take clients for pretty much this whole year. Or it could be personal preference, like they were referred by somebody.
Got you.
They could have been referred by another client of that trainer, so they want to go to that trainer.
Got you.
So it differs.
That joint's real, man. That joint's real. I guess for you though, E, right? Because you're showing us all this stuff. What would you say is your just favorite body part to work? Just a little back to you for a little bit. We know you said it's your favorite machine, but do you have a specific day that when is that day? Like, oh yeah.
You don't need no energy
drink.
Or
I'm about to go in.
You about to go in.
Turn it up. I feel like I'm Kobe.
So yeah, I'll say my Saturday workout.
Okay.
So my full split, Monday chest, Tuesday I rest, Wednesday is legs, and then after that is, I need some carbs. I can't even think.
Hey, this is real uncut type of stuff. We're giving it to y'all real.
So yeah, Monday's chest, rest on Tuesday. I come back for back on Wednesday.
Okay.
Legs again on Thursday. No, it's not. I'm sorry, bro.
You good.
Y'all see we real. We real.
All right. Chest on Monday. Tuesday, rest. Then that's legs on Wednesday. Back on Thursday. Legs again on Friday. And then Saturday is back and chest. Okay. So that's my favorite day. Back and chest.
So let's touch on that. I noticed you hit legs twice.
I was about to go there too.
For the fellas out there, tell them how important it is to hit legs.
Yes.
For
all those chicken leggers out there, D.
Tell them how important it is to hit legs.
Come on now.
Twice a week.
Come on now.
That question hits home for me. Because remember what we talked about before about trainers that didn't look the part?
Yeah.
I kind of halfway was that guy. I had a great upper body, but I couldn't. If I took shorts instead of sweatpants, wasn't nobody listening to me. So for like maybe the first 2 years of my gym journey, I was the guy that skipped legs. But at the end of the day, the number one way to boost your testosterone through exercise is by hitting those legs hard, growing muscle in the legs, boosts testosterone, that promotes growth everywhere.
And why would you say most people try to avoid legs though? Especially men, because I can't say most people. Salute the women out there. Y'all are outpacing us when it comes to the legs, right?
For sure.
We all can say that. But why is it that you feel like men, just for some reason, they get kind of like allergic when it comes to the squats or leg press? What is that?
I mean, well, the number one reason the shit hurts. The shit hurts. But secondly, it's funny, I touched on this in another video too. There's no instant gratification with it. We doing this, we doing back, we doing chest. When we look in the mirror, your pump is crazy right now. You know what I'm saying? You immediately can see, okay, what I'm doing is working. But if you do legs, a lot of times when you look in the mirror, they look worse than before you started your workout. So it's not something that really gratifies you and gives you feedback to want to do it again.
Hey,
it's really a chore, you know?
Hey, that's real as hell, man. Hey, E, get us to the next, man. You killed us here. Get us to the next one. He putting us through it. Mr. Walking resume himself, he putting us through it, man. And you know, if we saying it, that's the real deal right there.
I'm sweating.
This man no joke, man. Get us on to the next, E. My man.
So we're going to, I guess you could say diagonal.
Yeah, I like diagonal.
So
I like diagonal.
as far as the form itself, the 2 key points, diagonal. I try to think thumbs right outside of nipples. Arch your chest up, get a little bit deeper than your chest, pause for a second, explode. We don't got to touch at the top. But as far as the rep scheme, we're going to go 12, 8, 4, 20.
Okay.
So medium weight, heavier weight, heaviest weight for 4, and then back to lightweight for 20.
Okay.
So weights up to y'all.
This is these money. These got start. Let us know when we rolling. Yo, Dave, you gonna have to go through it one more time.
One more time?
He already rolling.
Oh, you didn't say action?
I mean, he was already, he already explained it.
Oh shit! All right.
Do it again now.
Yeah. This was smooth.
Okay.
All right, so each do the same thing.
Say no more.
Wait till I say action. So we got exercise number 4, take 1. So 6, rolling, and action.
All right, E. So what we doing here?
All right, fellas. We got incline press with the dumbbells.
Okay.
Couple rules for the exercise. We're going with a diagonal hand placement. I want thumbs beside nipples, get a deep stretch, 1, 2. No need to touch at the top. 1, 2 on the pause. There we go.
Okay,
the rep scheme is gonna be 12, 8, 4, 20. We're gonna go medium weight, heavier weight, heaviest weight, lightweight.
12, 8, 4, 20.
Yes, sir.
Got it, E. And it's interesting, right? Because we're working chest, and this is a conversation I have with a lot of women that work out, and also a lot of men. But would you say, is there a certain type of, say, body part for women or men that you would say, hey, women don't need to do as much of compared to men? Or do you, for clients, equal around the board? Say if it comes to chest, for instance, would you have your female clients still do the same thing a male client would do?
For the most part, nothing is going to create that different of a look. Like, at the end of the day, a woman can do all this chest press as much as she wants. She's not going to end up looking like a man. You know, you're not a man.
That's what a lot of them think, though, right? We just heard somebody today.
Because scientifically, the more muscle mass you can have across your body, you have a higher metabolic rate and you're healthier.
Right.
But for aesthetic purposes, yeah, of course, I'm gonna have the ladies do an extra day of glutes compared to the men. I'm gonna have them do an extra day of upper body.
Okay.
Of course, for aesthetic purposes.
Okay. And just to say that, right? And I might have asked you a variation of this earlier, but just for clarification, if it comes down to a male or female, right? If you're training, which would you say for a trainer is the harder client to train? And if there is one, why is that client the harder? Why would you say a female or a male is harder?
Be careful with this question.
Yeah, so yeah, that's the thing. I feel like there's no one answer to that because, so me for the most part, I feel like I train maybe 60% women and 40% men.
Okay.
Right? And I'll say that number is skewed mainly because a lot of men just don't want to take direction. So they're not going to sign up. But within that, there's some women that are great clients. There's some men that are great clients. There's some men that are assholes. There are some women that are assholes. So I wouldn't say there's either gender is harder. I think it just depends on the type of person. The hardest kind of person to train, is probably the person who hire you not fully confident in letting you take control.
Trying to give you instructions.
Yeah, when it's like, why are you asking me questions? You know, I'll give you the scientific answer, but
No, definitely.
just trust me, bro.
No, that's real though. That's real.
Let me ask you a question. Is there a such thing as spot reduction? For example, like let's say somebody has a gut and they're trying to get rid of their gut, but they like their mass all over, like on their shoulders or something. Is there a way to reduce just the gut and keep the mass at top, or is it like something?
Oh yeah, for sure. Just we're a waist trainer. I'm fucking.
Hey, you know what though? I guarantee you, a lot of people watching are gonna be like, I told you so. I knew it. I told you so. He just cursed their dreams when he said, "Nah, I'm playing."
So, you know, there's no such thing as fat reduction. Your body dissipates fat as a whole. If you think about it, think of it as if there's a layer of fat on your body. When it oxidizes and burns, it comes out of your pores, it comes out of your sweat, your waist, everything as a whole. If you want to make a spot look better, you can grow muscle in that spot, but there's no way to spot reduce fat. Nah.
Yeah, that's real. And that brings an interesting thought though, right?
Can I throw one more thing?
Of course. The floor is yours.
Another common bullshit that I hear is that doing high reps burns fat. Right. That's not the case at all. You know, cardio and diet burns fat. It has nothing to do with the amount of reps or the weights that you do.
See, that's real. So talk to us, right? I'm gonna have you talk to us from two different clients, right? Two different type of viewers watching. So say if I'm that hard gainer, it's hard for me to gain. What are the steps? I'm walking into the gym. What are some of the things that I should be doing when I come into the gym, like my rep range or set range? How should I go about that? And what should I be putting in my body after?
Okay. So scientifically, hypertrophy is muscle growth, right? The range for hypertrophy is anywhere between 5 and 30 reps. But 5 is really low, 30 is really high. So I like to be nice and even, anywhere between 8 to 15.
Okay.
Right? So say you come in today and you do this chest press, right? You grab a weight, you can do it 12 times, right? You could come back and do that same weight again next week and try to shoot for 15. Or you could do something heavier, but try to get the same 12. So it's all about those little progressions. I tell my clients, if you can't do 8, we'll change the weight. If you can go past 12, give them hell. You feel me? So I just try to keep that.
Say that again, E. That was clean.
If you can't do 8, change the weight. If you can go past 12, give them hell. And keep that simple rep range. Oh yeah, for sure. And just progress within that weight range.
Okay. And then if we flip that right to that client that's trying to lose the weight, would we say would it be the same approach, or would it change up a little bit?
Exactly the same.
Really? That's interesting.
The only difference between weight loss and weight gain is what you're putting in your body. The weightlifting is the same. I mean, only the cardio, the amount of cardio you do, of course. But the weights you lift is exactly the same. If you're in a calorie deficit, you won't see strength gains as quickly as somebody else that's in a calorie surplus. But other than that, you're doing the same workout.
That's interesting.
You say the weightlifting is more so like the frosting on the cake, the icing on the cake, I should say.
The weightlifting is the stimulus. So if you're in a surplus, it's the stimulus to your body, like, hey, I want to allocate these extra calories to my muscles. But if you're in a deficit, like you just went through a prep, you still lifted throughout that whole prep because you're trying to tell your body you have a reason to keep this muscle on while we're dropping fat. So
Right.
It's just stimulus. That's
interesting. So real quick, right? So on the second set, what is he hitting?
He's hitting the incline chest press.
So 12 on the first one, 8 second?
Yeah, 8 on the second
Okay.
set.
And that's interesting, Shaw, because that's the conversation what Eli just said.
Yes, sir.
Is what we hear in the gym a lot, right? We hear people talking like thinking they have to switch it up if they try to gain or lose. Right. But so many people miss out the fact that it's built in the kitchen. So talk to us about this, though, Eli. A lot of people, they know diet's the answer, but may not necessarily know how to cook. So what's the answer for people out there that's like, I know that's the way, but what do? I can't shove it up myself in the kitchen.
Well, one thing, before I even answer that question, diet is truly the answer and exercise stays the same, because I'll give this example. Like I said to y'all, my workout routine has been exactly the same since October 24th of last year.
Okay.
In that time, I went from 220 to 250, back down to 230 for the summertime, back up to 250 to put on a little bit more muscle, and back down now to 220. So you can go back and forth, the workouts don't change.
Okay.
You said as far as somebody that doesn't know how to cook, just figure
Yeah,
that
what
shit
do they
out.
do?
Figure that shit out. You're an adult. You
Yeah.
know, like, yeah. There's YouTube. There's HelloFresh. You can pull up the Wegmans. They got pre-made meals.
Huh.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
Really no excuse, right?
Yeah, there's no excuses. Yeah.
No, that's real. I want us to kind of go back to something, right? Because I think this is the integral part about who he became or how you became who you became. But the boxing earlier, you said that was something, that was the first real thing that you were good at. Was there, when you were doing it, did you have a goal in mind? Were you trying to go the professional route maybe from that? What was your inspiration to get into boxing?
So that's kind of a dark story.
Okay. If you don't mind taking us to the deep waters, we ready.
You asked me, did I used to hoop around the way? I used to hoop around the way all the time. Me and my homeboys, we had this spot in Southeast that we loved to hoop at. I'm over there. I get into an altercation with a dude. The dude, he's probably like maybe in his 30s or whatever. And he pushed a kid that was on my team, like a little teenager. So, you know, I stepped up to confront the dude, and he wanted to fight. At the time, me honestly, like, yeah, I had a little size on me, but I wasn't too confident in my fighting skills. So when he was talking all that rah-rah, it wasn't like I could just swing how I wanted to. So he actually ended up going in to get his gun and putting it to my head.
Oh, no.
So in my mind after that, I'm like, had I known how to fight, I could have ended that right there.
Wow.
So that's why I picked up boxing.
Wow.
Just because of, what's up, Brody? I'm telling them about the Ridge Road dude with the gun. But yeah, so after that, that's why I took up boxing. Yeah,
Wow.
'cause just to be able to defend myself.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, and when you were doing it, right, obviously you felt now like, hey, this is something that could be, I'm pretty good at.
Yeah.
When did you start realizing like, hey, I have some skills here, I could actually do this? Did you have an inspiration when you were doing it? Where did you think it was going before you stopped?
So I definitely wanted to take it pro.
Okay.
You know, I wanted to take it pro. Like you said, the only reason I stopped was because this Evolve opportunity came about. When I first thought like, damn, I'm good at this, I was sparring some pros.
Oh,
you
wow.
know, like within my first couple of months of boxing, I was
Wow.
able to hold my own. As far as fights, I went 5-1. So
Ooh.
yeah.
Oh, so you actually had some
Oh, yeah,
actual fights?
Yeah, some fights. I was 5-1. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Is it still something, Eli, that you do maybe from time to time still for like some training, or is it completely gloves have been put down and not picked up since?
So I'm not going to train full 3-minute rounds because that's, you know, not the best for muscle growth.
Yeah.
But I do just enough to know that if anything pops off, I can handle myself, you know.
I love that. I love that. And I think that brings
Yeah.
you lose it. And I think that transitions us into cardio, right? Because a lot of people try to refrain from it. They talk about cardio being something that is hard, it's not easy. But what are the different types of cardio that you guys here kind of tell your clients to try? Because we know this is not one size fit all. What's just different types of cardio for people trying to start their cardio journey that they can do? Because everybody thinks it has to be hard sprinting or something like that, or hard. What are just different things they could do, E?
I tell people literally anything. You can treadmill, you can Stairmaster, you can swim, you can box, you can rock climb, you can walk the park, you can walk your dog, you can dance, you can jump rope.
I love that.
Like whatever, you know, like as long as you're getting your body moving and getting into that targeted heart rate.
Yeah.
As far as the different kinds, there's high intensity cardio and there's low intensity.
Okay.
High intensity is like the burpees, the jumps, the sprints. Those burn more calories than fat actually. So if fat burning is your goal, you actually burn more fat just walking than you would doing hella burpees and sprints and stuff like that.
Oh, that's interesting. So for somebody trying to gain weight, would you still recommend them to do the cardio? A lot of people trying to gain weight say, I can't do this right now. It's gonna take away from my gains. Would you recommend them still touching cardio?
So from a heart health perspective,
Yeah.
you still want to take on cardio.
Okay.
I know a lot of power lifters, strength athletes, they'll throw in the sprints just for the sake of that's a powerful movement.
Got it.
And they don't really have to worry about losing too much size. Like think about an NFL athlete, an NFL lineman, they run all day, every day, and they still fat.
Right.
So high intensity cardio does not burn fat, it burns calories. Low intensity is what burns fat.
I feel like that's so interesting. You gotta say that again, E. A lot of people are gonna want to hear that one
Okay, I
again.
got you. When you think about NFL linemen, offensive, defensive, they run all day for a living and they're still fat. So that just goes to show that sprinting and running and cardio is not what burns fat. It's about the diet and low intensity, long steady states of cardio, such as the Stairmaster or the treadmill or whatever. Yeah.
Let me ask you this: what's your take on calisthenics? You know, because I'm sure you're familiar with this.
Yeah.
There's like constant battle between weightlifters and people in the calisthenics, and one is better than the other. What is your take on it?
So remember what I said about how this is stimulus? Yeah. Calisthenics is nothing but stimulus too. So you're stimulating your body to grow by putting it under stress. And then from there, what you put in it is what causes it to grow. The issue I have with the calisthenics guys, it was that one dude, the brown skin dude with the kufi. So yeah, he'll say stuff like, oh, the gym is for women, or lifting weights is for men that are trying to be fake manly. I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? Yeah. At the end of the day, scientifically, we're here to exercise and grow muscle. Right. You grow muscle by progressively overloading. What's easier, to take your weight up a little bit on a chest press, or to do 100 more push-ups in a day? You know, you can easily progress weights. You can't really progress too much with calisthenics.
Right. Would you say, for the people that are one size calisthenics and one size weightlifting, would you say there could be a marriage between the two? Yeah. Like to try to, something that probably people could possibly mix in both? Is that something you would push for?
That's exactly what we did today. We started with pull-ups and dips.
Right.
And this workout, you could easily, next week, come back, go 5 pounds heavier on every exercise, try to get one more rep of pull-ups and dips.
See, that's awesome.
Or one more set. You progress either one. I think they should be put together.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And something that you had to start on the pull-ups. But talk to us just about the importance of the pull-ups, because that's something I noticed, especially a lot of people in the bodybuilding space, they all start with. Anytime I'm working out with D, the first thing he's like, yo, Jay, let's hit the pull-ups. Yeah. I'm like, dang, let's start with, he's like, no, let's hit pull-ups. Yeah. Why is it important, or is there a certain concept or reason why that you start with the pull-ups?
I know there's some people out there that'll actually start with lat pull downs and then go to pull-ups, just because they want to be warm enough for it. But either way, pull-ups are important for opening up, stretching out that spine, getting your erector stretched out, getting your lat stretched out. It's very important.
And let's say for the people that necessarily can't do pull-ups, I guess what can they do for the ones that want to try to get to that but aren't at that point yet? Is there something they can do to substitute for that?
So right there on the squat racks, what I'll do is I'll put a band across. Okay. Put a band across the rack so my clients that can't do pull-ups, they're doing pull-ups, but they'll be standing on the band.
Got it.
So it's just an assisted pull-up.
Okay.
And you work your way through that until you can do real pull-ups.
All right, my man.
Which exercise you think is more effective for
we gonna switch.
growing your chest? Maybe dumbbell press, or just hitting that barbell, just bench pressing?
I'll say the dumbbell, but only because of how you just said it. Because you said when you hitting that barbell, something about the barbell make people want to.
Exactly.
Yeah, but a dumbbell, you're gonna think more. You're gonna stretch. You're gonna control because it's unstable. Right. So what grows muscle is, of course, intensity, but also time under tension and stretch. With that barbell, a lot of people they're bouncing. They're just trying to get as many reps as they can. So they both could get the same result, but the barbell brings the worst out of people, in my opinion.
Hey, I love that. That's just like this just brought the worst out of me, but I love it. Yes. I love it, man. What we on next?
Y'all ready? So we did the pull-ups, the dips, the T-bar. So we're at lat pull downs.
All right, let's get it, baby. Let's get it. My man.
Let's get it.
Let's go. So what we got for up next, man? What we doing?
We got a simple lat pull down.
Okay.
We're going a close underground grip, trying to hit the lower lats. Okay. Very important for the V-taper, for the wings, as people like to call it. Okay. You can rock back on the pull, lean forward into the stretch, rock back on the pull, lean forward slowly into the stretch.
Okay. Hey, and D, let me grab something out, Rashad's pocket real quick. Pass me that real quick. I know you got actually we can't show them here, so you know what I'm talking about. But actually, I'm joking around, but what we talk about is this, right? A lot of times people in the gym we go to, unfortunately, people carry stuff that they shouldn't. What I'm talking about is steroids, unfortunately. Yeah. A lot of people use that as their tool to get above and beyond in the gym. But a lot of times we feel like they don't know how detrimental it could be. It's to the point that it's becoming such a thing, people are carrying it in their pocket just normally walking into the gym. I want you to just touch on that topic a little for us and touch on why it's not necessarily the best route, despite what all the other influences might be saying.
So here's the thing. Any drug that you can get from a doctor, keyword, you got it from a doctor. Yeah. Right. You're not gonna do it without that doctor's supervision.
Facts.
So me personally, I'm not 100% against steroids.
Okay.
I'm not, but if it's not done in a doctor's supervision, I'm against it. There's a lot of guys that just shoot up not knowing that if you take one compound, you may need to take another compound to combat the side effects of that first compound you took. There are guys that hop on steroids, they don't get no blood work from time to time just to make sure that they're still healthy. At the end of the day, from the research that I've done, there's always going to be a negative effect, always. It's just a matter of mitigating it, as much as you can.
That's true. And like, could you, like, for the teenagers, the 13-year-olds, 14-year-olds that just started lifting, can you tell them the importance of patience and allowing that, muscle maturity to come over time so they can get that, for that look they want?
You should be taking your body as far as it can go naturally, before you even think about hopping on anything, which is at least the age of 25, at the very least.
No, that's different. And I think, right, D, like, for you guys probably both could touch on this, because a lot of people want to get into bodybuilding, right? But I've heard people say, oh, I don't want to get into bodybuilding because I don't want to do steroids, or I don't want to get into bodybuilding because I don't know how to do steroids. But how would you guys talk about the relationship with steroids and bodybuilding? Is this something that you need to do if you want to become a bodybuilder? If not, can you just touch on exactly just how that works in general? Because a lot of people out there are curious.
I mean, D just killed it yesterday, naturally. My show that I competed in 2 weeks ago that I won, that was an enhanced category. Everybody else on the stage, as far as I know, was on steroids, and I'm natural. So it's not a need thing, I feel, of course, if you want to go to the Olympia or do these high-level pro shows, you're going to need it.
You're going to need it?
You're going to need to level the playing field. If that's what you want to do.
So for people that don't know, how can you tell that someone's on steroids as opposed to someone that's like a natural bodybuilder?
Or can you even tell?
Yeah.
Outside of like the big 300-pound mass monsters, there's no way to tell. A lot of people think I'm on steroids. People that will look at him and say he's on steroids. There's really no way to tell.
It's interesting.
Maybe the side effects, maybe like crazy back acne or varicose veins that, bunched up together. But even that could just be genetic defect.
Let's get this.
Yes, sir.
Stretch. Got it.
Stretch. Pause on the stretch. There you go. Yep, lean forward into it. There you go. Lean forward into the lats. 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 Go. Yes, sir. Fight that.
I've been trying to get this guy to get into the bodybuilding space himself too.
I mean, you should be.
Hey.
You look like classic.
So that's a great question. How do you get started, for the people out there that are wondering, how do you get started into that? If you want to become that, what's the steps that you take to do that?
So it's funny. I have a lot of people come to me that want to hop off the porch and do bodybuilding, and they're kind of like just getting in shape for the first time. I tell them, in a bodybuilder, you go through an excessive cut, like to the point where you're losing muscle. So you want to take some years and put on quality muscle.
Oh, wow.
I feel like you're there, you have enough muscle size that you could go through a drastic cut and still be big enough. I say the first step is putting on quality muscle, and then figuring out which division it is you want to do, getting with a coach and going into prep.
So talk about that too, because I know that was something I heard a lot of people confused about yesterday. When we were talking men's physique, we were talking classic. People are like, wait, what's the difference? The different people getting on stage. Could you just break down for the people that don't know, just the difference between the two and figuring out what aspect they might want to go into?
So I'll start with the women, actually. So women have wellness, which is where they're judged, of course, on a full physique, but with the priority being the size and definition of your legs. I coached 2 ladies earlier this year.
Oh, wow.
One came in first and one came in second. Both of my clients, first and second, in the wellness division. So the focus was their legs. Women also have bikini. Bikini is just how lean can you be across the body. The leanest girl wins. And then there's figure. Figure is the more muscular looking division for the ladies. It's a more upper body focus. So that's the girls. For men, there's men's physique, which is more focused on having a V-taper, wide shoulders compared to a narrow waist. That's men's physique. Then there's classic, which is wide shoulders, narrow waist, big sweeping quads, striations and details everywhere. And then there's open. Open is just big as shit.
What would you say would be the harder of the two?
The harder?
Or the 3?
The 3? Open, because there's no way you could compete in open, at a high level naturally, you know? What I'm going for right now is my pro card in men's physique, and that's something that's attainable naturally. As far as the open, going pro in that is not something that you can do naturally.
Really? So there's no way you would say, if somebody's like, I'm determined to do it naturally, and they came to you and said, do you think I could do it? Can I be the first to ever do it? What would you be your advice to them?
I would say anything's possible, but realistically, that might not be the division for you.
Wow.
So there's a lot of size to put on.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then talk about this too, right? Right before we switch, because a lot of people want to know, like, they don't understand like bodybuilding. Is it something that you can have a financial gain with, per se? Can you get to the level where you can make it a career?
So that depends on how smart you are as a person.
Wow.
I don't know if you noticed, but the bodybuilding prizes, especially for pro shows, is very low. It's very low. The show I just did, I won $5K, but that's unheard of for an amateur show. That's why that show was so popular.
Oh, wow.
I say the biggest pro prize is at the Olympia for an open bodybuilder. They won $600,000, but just one step underneath, classic C-bum, he only got $60K. So imagine working all year and you only get $60K. So it's not a lucrative sport at all.
How did they make that work?
The money comes from endorsements, marketing yourself. Most bodybuilders are trainers, so having an efficient, online coaching program or having clients, that's where it comes from.
So you really try to get into it to parlay that notoriety and fame you might get into something else.
You have to be either an entrepreneur or an influencer or both.
Okay.
If you want to make bodybuilding lucrative.
That's very interesting. And
Or
would you say it's the same for men and women, or does one sex out the two have more of an advantage to make more of a financial gain, or is it a little easier for one to make more money with the men compared to women?
I would say from what I've seen on social media, I feel like women will progress faster and get opportunities faster. Obviously, because their follower count or like count is going to be boosted by a bunch of thirsty guys.
Right. Say it again to the people in the back. All y'all thirsty dudes out there, we see y'all. We see y'all.
But for a dude that sticks it out, keep putting out quality content, you'll start to get recognized by companies, and you may be able to make a living off of it as well.
Most definitely. Hey, that's solid, man. Well, E, bring us to the final stretch, man. You've been putting us through it, man. I'm like, God.
We're almost there.
Hey, let's do it, man. Come on.
There.
Let's go, baby.
Let's get it.
My man.
Woo.
All right, E, so bring us home, man. I see you on the chest fly. What we doing? Just chest flies?
Chest flies. Chest flies will go form.
All right.
I feel like the theme of the day has been a slow stretch and a hard contraction. Chest up, hard, let it out slow. 1, 2 there, hard, let it out slow.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, perfect.
12, how many we doing?
Shooting for that 8 to 15 range. If you can't do 8, we'll change the weight. If you can do 12, give them hell.
All right, perfect. And then, E, let me ask you, right? Because even the way you're breaking it down to us, like you're doing it in such a smooth, easy to understand way, just your training style.
Thank you.
Did you take that style? Is there somebody that you took that style from? If not, do you have any inspirations or motivators in the fitness training space? Where do you just get your style from and just how you're able to be so smooth with this?
I'll say the best way that it was taught to me his name is Dr. Mike Israel.
Okay.
So I'll say that's one great person. Of course, my coach Ray.
Okay.
And I have another mentor. His name is Aaron Bolton.
Okay.
He mentored me when I was in that very first phase, training people at Planet Fitness.
Okay.
And then Orlando as well. Orlando really helped me with how to explain things to people versus just saying science.
Got it. And I want you to touch on just Ray for a little, because he's a big name in the DMV, bro.
Yeah.
Like everywhere I go, I hear Ray. Can you just, and I know he'll love this, like this is a Ray appreciation moment, right? But could you talk about just who Ray is for a little bit? Because you always hear his name in the DMV.
It's funny because I'm like, everybody loves Ray. Yeah. I've never come across a person that had anything bad to say about him.
Wow.
So Ray he's an OG in men's physique.
Okay.
I don't know if he was in men's physique the first year it was created, but I know early on. So he's been to the Olympia naturally, which is a crazy feat. So he's been in the bodybuilding space for years.
Wow.
He's been in the training space for years. Really, like that's probably one of the only, outside of Evolve.
Yeah.
That's really the only trainer that I'd recommend anybody to, really.
Really? That was gonna be my next question. Somebody like you, with the wealth of knowledge that you have, how do you necessarily, especially you're in the bodybuilding space as well, how do you necessarily go about choosing the right person for you to train? Like, because some people might look at it and be like, what is a coach gonna offer him? This dude clearly already knows everything. So can a coach really offer somebody like you something? What would you say to the people saying he doesn't need a coach?
So, as far as exercises go, I've never had a coach for that. I've never, nobody else has ever created my workouts for me. With Ray is my posing coach, so he helps me pose, but also he can sit there and look at me objectively and tell me what my weak muscle groups are. My coach out in Texas, Stephen Nabel, he put together my diet plan. He tells me, when to drop my calories down. Like macros and nutrition, I know it, but somebody else is gonna push you harder than you would have pushed yourself. For example, last year, my entire prep was 2,800 calories, whereas he's got me eating 1,800 on rest days and 2,000 on training days, which is really, really fucking low, lower than I would have done myself. But now that I'm doing it, I realize I can handle it.
Right.
And without him, I wouldn't have been able to see that.
Jeez, bro. And then you said you go to Texas, right? So going down there, tell us about that story. How did that come about? You even finding a coach down there, being from in the DMV?
So he's nationwide.
Okay.
And he's coached a few guys from the goals around here.
Okay.
And they ended up looking great, so they made that referral for me.
Wow.
But Texas is my second home. I'm always in Houston. I'm always at Alpha Land.
Yeah.
He lives right by there. He goes to Alpha Land, so.
So everybody talks about, me and you would just talk about Alpha Land. How would you compare the Houston workout scene to the DMV workout scene? Do you feel like one is this more legit than the other? Or like how would you like kind of compare the two?
So first thing I'll say is kids in Texas, they take weightlifting as a class since middle school. I don't know if y'all know this.
That's real.
So if you walk into any commercial gym down in Texas, they're just a little bit stronger than everybody else, around the country.
Right.
But that Houston fitness scene, I love it. I really love it. The DMV, we got a good little scene here, but Houston is just bigger. And it's not like they just work out, it's like they know how to monetize fitness. Everybody has a business, everybody has a YouTube, everybody has a program.
Right.
They're really getting after it.
Right. And talk to all the trainers out there, E, because I think you said something key. Me and you would just talk about this, D. But taking what you're doing and trying to monetize it or get your name out there, why is that so important to just not be the guy trading in your own in that personal gym, but also getting on social, getting on YouTube? Why is that networking component so key?
I'll say it like this: with training is one of those things where I thank God all the time that what I do day to day makes an actual impact. I don't just crunch numbers for a company, So I feel like with training, if you're actually good at what you do, you probably feel the same way.
Right.
If you feel that you make an impact, you're going to want to impact as many people as possible. So there will be some monetary gain from that, but at the end of the day, you're just trying to impact a lot of people.
So it's more so following the impact than the monetary gain.
The monetary will come.
Exactly.
That's.
I've trained a lot of people for free.
Really?
I'll create, even my barber the other day. I was in the barber shop, he telling me about his goals. I said, bro, just let's go over your macros right now while I'm getting this cut. And by the time I left that barber shop, he had his meal plan. What to eat, how much to eat, when to eat it. Because you just want to help people. So the money will come.
So let me ask you this. So for those who want to learn about macros and whatnot, like what are some apps or tools they could use to get started?
YouTube. YouTube. So many different people are teaching the same thing. It's just a matter of who can tell it to you in a way that you understand. I'm starting my YouTube now, and also something else that I'm putting together is a course for trainers. I feel like everybody nowadays is trying to jump into the online coaching space without ever actually having trained anyone in person, just because they don't know how to make money doing it. So I'm going to put together a course and teach people how to scale their in-person training business to their first $8,000 a month. I'll be able to take you from uncertified, no clients, to having a business, a certification, bringing in $8K a month. That's gonna be the program that I'm putting forward.
Oh man, I love that. And talk to people, where can they find you, bro? There's gonna be people that's like, hey, give us just a breakdown, whether it's the address for the gym, your social media handles. Everybody's gonna want to tap in with you. We know once this episode drops. Where can they find you on all these platforms?
As far as the gym itself, you could just Google Evolve Body Wellness Hanover. The address will pop up. We're right by BWI Airport, about 5 minutes away. As far as all socials, Mr. Walker Resume. That's Instagram, that's TikTok, that's YouTube, that's Facebook, that's MySpace.
Hey.
You know, that's all that.
Oh, he got the mindset still going.
Hey, my brother, well, we much appreciated. And we always end our episodes with one big question, right? You've been an unbelievable guest. We appreciate you. But who is somebody that you would want on the next episode that you're going to help us get on that next episode, bro?
Okay.
We need that person.
So I got a homeboy.
Okay.
We see things very similarly, and he's taught me a lot.
Okay.
He's great in fitness, he's great in business, and overall he's just really locked in. He speaks well too. My homeboy Ike, he owns this brand right here, Vay.
Okay.
So
Vay. Y'all see that?
Yeah.
Y'all see that brand?
Code Walker Resume for a discount on the Vay website.
Hey,
But,
okay.
yeah, I'll put y'all in connect.
Hey, Ike, you hear that, man? We coming for you, man. We coming next. We need you here in the gym with us, man. So as always, my brother, we appreciate it. It's been a special one, man. It's been a special one. And as always, thank you for tuning in. Like,
Appreciate you, man.
subscribe, and follow us on all platforms. This has been another episode of Pump Perspective. Mr. Walker Resume, he made it happen. I think y'all enjoyed the show. We out. Deuces.
Oh my God, I cannot believe this, dog.